Meeting will please come to order. Good evening, everyone. My name is Trippy Congo, President of Wilmington City Council. And on behalf of all of my colleagues, we would like to thank everyone who has joined us this evening. Just as a friendly reminder, council chambers are now open for council and committee meetings, so you're welcome to join us in-house or, as always, virtually, as we have been for the past couple of years. And we will have an opening prayer by Akira Granado.
Heavenly Father, we have assembled to handle the affairs of our city. As we do so, we ask for your guidance and understanding. We pray that our city reaches a place of peace and safety. Keep us out of harm's way and bless those who are in authority. Let respect be key in all our endeavors. Amen.
Amen. This time we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilwoman Gray,
Present.
Councilwoman Darby,
Present.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Present.
Councilwoman Harley,
Present.
Councilwoman Fields,
Present.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Here.
Councilman Johnson,
Here.
Councilman Field, Councilwoman Cabrera,
Here.
Councilman Mills,
Present.
Councilman Spadola,
Here.
Councilwoman Walsh, President Congo.
Here.
12 present and 1 absent.
And just for the record, Councilwoman Walsh did ask to be excused this evening. Just as a reminder for anyone who is virtual with us this evening, there is a Google Form sign-up link in the chat if you would like to leave, if you would like to have any public comment. That will take place after non-legislative business. This time we'll have the reading of the minutes from the previous meeting.
August 25th, 2022, City Council met in regular session virtually with remote participation on the above date at 6:30 p.m. President Ernest M. Congo II presiding. The opening prayer was done by Kara Granado, Deputy City Clerk. Pledge of Allegiance was recited by City Council.
Mr. President, I move the minutes be accepted as written.
Second.
It's been properly moved that the minutes be accepted as written. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. This time we'll have our committee reports.
May 12, 2022, President, members of Council, City of Wilmington, ladies and gentlemen, we, your Community Development Urban Planning Committee, by virtual meeting with remote participation to was referred ordinance number 22011 entitled, "An Ordinance to Rezone 3 Parcels of Land Located at Southeast Corner of 4th and Shipley Streets, commonly known as Humboldt Park, from a zoning classification of O, Open Space, to a zoning classification of C3, Central Retail. I have given this ordinance careful study and recommend council vote on it accordingly. Respectfully submitted, those members present: Councilwoman Cabrera, Councilwoman McCoy, Councilwoman Brigida Fields, Councilwoman Darby, President Congo, absent with leave, Councilman Nathan Fields, and Councilman Spadola.
Mr. President, I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that that committee report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. This time we'll have our treasurer's report.
September 1st, 2022, total investment, $495,293,568.47. Total cash on hand, $14,366,284.69. Grand total, $509,659,853.16. Submitted by Dwayne Sims, City Treasurer.
Mr. President, I move the treasurer's report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the treasurer's report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I'll accept the motion to move to accept all non-legislative business.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to accept all non-legislative business. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Do any council members have any recognitions this evening? All right. I would like to Recognize sympathy resolutions from Councilwoman Oliver for Juanita Crespo and Morel Deshawn Lowe. And also from Councilwoman Oliver, recognizing Mr. and Mrs. Parks, their 50th wedding anniversary. Okay, there is going to be an addition to the agenda results for non-legislative resolution for Mrs. Florence Gaines. A birthday celebration, her 90th birthday celebration. Okay, no one has signed up for a public comment this evening. So we are going to move to legislative business. Councilmember Gray,
Nothing this evening, Mr. President.
Councilmember Darby,
Nothing this evening, President.
Councilmember Oliver,
Yes, Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the first and second reading.
Ordinance 22-037, Agenda 0218, an ordinance to amend Chapter 14 of the City Code pertaining to historic markers.
first reading of the ordinance,
An ordinance to amend Chapter 14 of the City Code pertaining to historic markers.
second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move this be known for the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer to the Community Development Urban Planning Committee.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and referred to the Community Development and Urban Planning Committee. Councilmember Harley,
Yes, Mr. President, I have a resolution and two ordinances to present, but agenda item number 0144, I'm going to hold that particular, let me make sure I'm giving you the right number. Okay. Agenda number 0219, I'm going to hold that particular ordinance at this time.
okay.
I would like to present and call for a third and final reading, agenda number 0144.
Ordinance 22-011, Agenda 0144, an ordinance to rezone 3 parcels of land located at the southeast corner of 4th and Shipley Streets, commonly known as Humble Park, from a zoning classification of O, open space, to a zoning classification of C3, central retail.
Mr. President, I move that it be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for the yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and called for a yea and nay vote on the question.
Yes, Mr. President, the ordinances rezones 3 parcels of land located at the southeast corner of 4th and Shipley Street, being tax parcel number 26-043, 10-188, and 189, and 190, which are commonly known as Humble Park, from a zoning classification of 0 open space to a zoning classification of C3. And I just want to say, Mr. President, that before this particular area became an open space, it was residential for many, many years. And when they did some renovations and reconstruction on 4th Street, they never basically decided what was going to happen with that particular parcel. And so there was some talk and discussions about it possibly being an area where the students from Del Tech could go there and sort of like hang out during lunch. But then over the years, to my understanding, the city of Wilmington, our previous director for Parks and Rec, discussed with our L&I commissioner how the park was being underutilized, and there were talks with Del Tech in terms of their perspective in terms of their students, because that was one of the number one reasons why they was going to try to do something there, but later on found out that it was being underutilized. And when this was presented, there were no opposition from any of the residents. There was no opposition from any of the businesses or those that own commercial space. And I had the opportunity, since this first got started, to talk to some of the residents that live in that area, and they are welcoming more units there as it relates to just making that area look more beautiful. So that is all that I have to say right now. Thank you.
Councilwoman McCoy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to add that I did my research as well. Changing from O to something else is actually something that's very dear to me, but looking at that space and kind of realizing how it was used, it was actually classified as an O, but it's very little grass in the area. It's mostly concrete. As an open space is called Humble Park, but it's not really like a play or anything space for young people. So there's no movement of play equipment. And the fact that it's kind of like, I think it was a atrium of sorts, I guess, at one point for Del Tech, and then they ended up creating their own space. So I found every check mark that I looked at on why I may not do this, I found that there was no reason not to go ahead and change this from O to whatever else they were looking to do. So I
Okay.
will be supporting this.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you. Councilwoman Fields.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say I've had conversations with Councilwoman Harley, and I too am in support of this, the legislation that she's bringing forth. If it's in her district and she feels that it's necessary, then who am I to say that you can't have it in your district? So I am in support of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too did my homework on it, but I remember when it was a retail space. It was a barber shop there. I remember the bookstore there. I just remember everything that was in that area. And I too did my homework, and since this was brought up, I'm constantly coming down 4th Street because I don't use 4th Street a lot. But I come down there and I go to the Jamaican restaurant and sit in there and eat, and I look over there. And I even took pictures of it. So for the last couple of months, I just don't see anybody in there because the kids at Del Tech, they have a space on the inside now, so they're not hanging outside just to be hanging outside. They have a little smoke area also, and it's not there. So I too will be supporting this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Cabrera.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I visited Humble Park because at first I didn't even know where it was or what they were talking about, and actually got stuck there for 45 minutes waiting for my ride. And I walked around, I looked around. There is no grass. I hate to say it, it was just a sad little space. And any people or movement that I see there that occupies it really is, just undesirable activity. One of the things that did concern me was having open space, places for people to sit and gather. And in speaking to the entity that won the bid, I said, the concerns that people have expressed are having open space. So one of the things that was made clear to me is that there is a space on Market Street that they will create a courtyard. So you're going to have a beautiful outdoor sitting area. The other concerns that came up was parking, and there was 3 different parking areas identified so that the residents from there would actually have a place to park. So all those concerns that people brought up, because they're legitimate concerns, have been addressed. So I'm very comfortable in supporting this.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Johnson.
Yes, I'm in support of this rezoning as well. This is, this is a step in the right direction in the 4th District. Again, from the information I know from both talking with Councilwoman Harley and also folks in the area, this is an underutilized space, which is, I think, the most important thing is we need to utilize our space in the city, as precious as it is, so that it's put forward to be a benefit to the community instead of just an empty concrete space. So I'm looking forward to kind of the reimagining, and as we look to improve 4th Street further down, this hopefully will be kind of the beginning of a renaissance of 4th Street, as I know me and Councilwoman Fields have been focusing on that area. So I'm definitely in support of this.
Okay, thank you. And I'll take it back to you, Councilwoman Harley, as a sponsor.
Yes, I want to thank those that expressed their support. And I just want to say for the record, if this was a open space that had grass, had equipment for children, where there were residents that were utilizing this park, this would not even be a conversation. But because we know that it's concrete, most people don't even know what it is, to be perfectly honest. So thanks for the support, and I am looking forward to us continually to improve that particular area, and ready to call for the vote.
Okay, thank you. And just as a friendly reminder, after you do have to state your reasoning for your vote. One of the reasons can be that you support the findings or support for the community. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilwoman Gray,
Yes, I'm supporting it because based on Councilwoman Harley and Councilwoman Cabrera, they've assured me that some of the concerns have been taken care of. Thank you.
Councilwoman Darby,
Yes, I'm supporting it for the same reason. Some of the concerns have been addressed. However, I'm not okay with the bidder, but that's a whole nother convo.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes, I support the findings.
Councilwoman Harley,
Yes, I support the findings.
Councilwoman Brigida Fields,
Yes, I support these findings.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes, I support the findings.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes, I support the findings.
Councilman Nathan Field. Yes, I support the findings. Councilwoman Cabrera,
Per the findings, I support this, and I'm a yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes, I support the findings.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes, based on the findings.
President Congo.
Yes, based on the findings.
12 yeas and 1 absent.
Declared adopted.
Mr. President, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 22056, Agenda 0206, whereas pursuant to Wilmington C. Charter 101, the city may acquire, hold, manage, and dispose of property on such terms as it deems proper for any municipal purpose, and whereas Wilmington C. 2621.
I move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed and adopted by a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that this resolution be received, recorded, filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote on the question.
Yes, Mr. President, this resolution approves the bid of the Buccini Pollen Group Incorporation for 3 parcels of real estate located at the southeast corner of 4th and Shipley Streets, Wilmington, Delaware 19801, being Newcastle County tax parcel numbers 26-043, 188, 189, and 190, which are commonly known as Humble Park, as the best bidder, and authorizes the mayor and the city clerk or their respective designees to execute any and all documents necessary to effectually disposition such properties to the Buccini Pollen Group. And I just want to say, for the record, that being a Wilmington native and working downtown for many, many years, I remember when DuPont was one of the major partners that worked with Wilmington government to make sure that we had a good working economic engine. And through their partnership and through what the DuPont company as well as the MBNA company, their contributions as a partner always made a big difference, since we know that our revenue streams come from wage taxes and property taxes. And I do want to applaud the Buccini Pollen Group for being a great partner to the city of Wilmington as it relates to partnering, just like MBNA, just like the DuPont company. And so when I think about the units that they build, putting people in those units, paying taxes to the city of Wilmington, that the city of Wilmington definitely benefits from this particular company. So I really do appreciate the work that they're doing in the city of Wilmington to help us to keep our taxes at a minimum, versus if we didn't have the residents that live in their properties. That's all I have at this time, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Johnson.
I too support this parcel to the bidder. Simply, I have to look at I trust, number one, Councilwoman Harley. This is her district, and I'm old school, such as Councilwoman Field said, is that I believe that councilperson in the district knows best. And so I am following her lead. I have spoken with the Buccini Pollen Group. The bottom line is this is going to be a substantial transaction. in which the benefits then will be able to flow to the community. I understand there's apprehension, of course, of BPG, but at the end of the day, BPG is a corporation investing in our town. And what I have to look at as the chair of finances.
I'm sorry,
big
Councilman Johnson, if you can speak into the
Okay,
mic, please.
what I have to look at is the
Thank you.
big picture in finances. Look what's happening in Jackson, Mississippi. We have a city in which they're having a water crisis right now. It's population where it was white flight. There was 80%, I believe it's 80% minority population, 25% is under the poverty level. And there's been a significant lack of investment in their water. And look at what they're struggling to go through. And when I look at the financial picture of Wilmington, we're a lot better than that. And so it takes, it takes investment like this project and other projects and what we have on the east side, the Promise Village. It takes those kind of investments to continue to move our city forward so we can have clean water, we can have nice streets. So unfortunately, those things cost money, and for us to offer the services that we offer, the excellent services, we need properties on the tax roll. We need revenue. We need folks who are working, wage tax. We need high-income individuals. We need a strong middle class, and we need low-income individuals. So for those reasons, I definitely support this, and I hope my colleagues do as well.
Councilman Spadola.
Thank you, Council President. I think I'm in support of this, and I think we should be judged on our vote not by how we vote tonight, but by how the park looks in a year or 2 years. We've all heard what a sad concrete wasteland it is for years. So when I support it, I'm voting for progress, and I look forward to the work that is done there and how it looks a couple years from now.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cabrera.
Yes, for the reasons I stated before, the fact that there will be an open space, a courtyard, something that'll be nicer, prettier, that the concerns that the community brought up were heard, number one, were addressed, and hopefully, as the project moves forward, we will see the evidence of it. So I am trusting that we can move forward and continue to increase our revenue by the taxes that people pay when they move into the city, how they spend money in our businesses. And that 200 block of Market Street is just wonderful. You have Eunice Lafayette, you have all those businesses down there. You need more people to be down there to support the coffee shop, to shop in those stores. Otherwise than that, you're going to keep seeing a rotation of businesses that are trying to survive if you do not have that influx of people. And I'm seeing, a different movement in our city now, which is good. We're progressing. Now we just need that to progress into our neighborhoods as well. But I am in support.
Councilwoman Darby.
Yes, thank you. So I am not in support of this legislation, but I do have a few questions that I want to make sure is clarified to the community. When I read the resolution or the ordinance, which one is this? The ordinance? The resolution.
Yes.
It stated that they were the only bidder. So they weren't the best bid. They were the only bid for this particular parcel. Well, 3 parcels. But one of the things I want to state is that if we can explain to the public what the process is in regards to bidding and what does the real estate department, what is their strategies on making sure that we have different diverse developers applying for these bids, where it's not the same old developers who are so-called investing in our city. There's investment, but everyone in the city is not benefiting from it. So if we can explain to people the bidding process and why there was only one bid, that would be helpful.
Okay, thank you. And seeing no other hands raised, I'll take it back to the sponsor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do want to say that's what the committee meetings are for, to talk about those types of questions that was asked. But I also want to say that in addition to me believing that this is a great project for Market Street in the 4th District, I also want to mention that that there has been conversation as it relates to the proceeds from this particular piece of parcel going towards renovating another park. So I wanted to make that clear on the record that the proceeds from that parcel will go to another park, another green space that needs to be renovated and definitely needs to be improved. And I also want to say for the record that if you go into any of Buccini Pollin's companies or the areas that they have developed, you will definitely see a lot of diversity. If you go into Starbucks, it's predominantly people of color. If you go into the West End, you go into the Field House. If you go into any of their properties, there are 50%, at least 50% of the workers are people of color. And even in their properties, there are a diverse group of individuals that live in those properties. So for the record, I just want to say that I do believe that they are a great partner to the city of Wilmington, and they are benefiting a lot of people within the city other than one particular class of people. They are a company that supports diversity, inclusion, and equity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilwoman Gray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
No.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes.
11 yeas, 1 nay, and 1 absent.
Declared adopted.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Fields.
Nothing tonight, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember McCoy.
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Johnson.
Yes, Mr. President. I have an ordinance to present and call for first and second reading.
Ordinance 22-038, Agenda 0220, an ordinance to amend Chapter 2 of the City Code to clarify the funding of and appropriations from the Budget Reserve Account, the Tax Stabilization Reserve, the Water Sewer Fund Operation and Maintenance Reserve, and the Water Sewer Fund Rate Stabilization Reserve.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 2 of the City Code to clarify the funding of and appropriations from the Budget Reserve Account, the Tax Stabilization Reserve, the Water Sewer Fund Operation and Maintenance Reserve, and the Water Sewer Fund Rate Stabilization Reserve.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance referred to the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and referred to the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
Then that's all my items, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Field.
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Cabrera.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Mills.
Nothing this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Spadola.
Nothing this evening, Council President.
Thank you. This time we'll go to petitions and communication. We'll start with Councilmember Spadola.
Nothing tonight, Council President.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Mills.
Yes, Mr. President. Just wanted, again, to say to the families of the children going back to school, if we can just be a bit proactive rather than waiting to get everything in order, get in touch with the districts right now so the kids don't start off on, behind. Reference to the truancy, the bus stops and all that, if we can get that information. And also wanted to give a big shout out to the Delaware Gold Star families for their memorial monument that was unveiled today over in the Veterans Memorial Park in Newcastle. It was an excellent event. And there's also a veterans event this Saturday at the Route 9 Library in reference to the shame of the veterans dealing with PTSD. So I encourage the families to come out. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Cabrera.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Just want to remind folks out there as you're driving and I'm going around the neighborhoods that, yes, we are back to school. Please be careful of children who may run out into the road or they're crossing. Slow down. And the one great thing about September, even though it's sad to see the end of summer in August and everything starting up, is that we do kick off Hispanic Heritage Month, September 15th, and we will be here on council do our little kickoff. But there are a lot of activities taking place in the community, so try to participate, take some of the art, the culture, the music, the food, and the celebrations that are taking place throughout our city and throughout the state. Here in Wilmington, we will have the Hispanic Festival September 11th. The parade will kick off at 4th and 4th and Bancroft at 1 p.m. And then the festival will continue at Tubman Garrett Park. So I hope that everyone will be able to attend. And then shortly after the following week, September 17th, we're going to have the People's Fest, Bob Marley. So again, Wilmington, City of Festivals, Falls is a great time to come out and enjoy. And also want to congratulate the August Quarterly for another year of celebrating and keeping with the tradition of the oldest African American festival in the nation. And it happened right here in Wilmington, where we became a religious mecca back when this first was started. And that's it this evening. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Field.
Yes, Mr. President, it's great to be back in person again, finally, as a group. And I just want to, if there's any residents watching, one thing I do every 2 or 3 months to keep people updated on news in and around the district is to send out a newsletter on any relevant issue that's happening in our neighborhood. If people are watching that would like to be added, please text me at 302-530-6626, and I will add you to the mailing list.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember McCoy.
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Fields.
Yes, Mr. President, thank you. I have a couple. On tomorrow, September 2nd, at 6 o'clock, Gary Diggs presents Cover Me Too, host Pastor Tyran Smith with the United Change, Ken Rock Entertainment, Project Promise, the Cathedral of Fresh Fire, Trust Renovation and Remodeling, Lee Cuts, and A2B Trucking LLC, Boys to Men Crew, and myself, Councilwoman Fields. They are having a book bag, so it's going to be a DJ, free food and entertainment, book bag, and school supplies will be given away, and that's going to be held at Arise Church on 2200 Baynard Boulevard, Wilmington, Delaware, 19802. Also, tonight, Westside Groves and Roberto Clemente League, they're presenting a movie night at the 7th Street Bridge. So it's from 7 to 8:30. And I have my quotes. My first quote is, hate no one, no matter how much they wronged you. Live humbly, no matter how wealthy you become. Think positively, no matter how hard life is. Give much, even if you're being given little. Forgive all, especially yourself, and never stop praying for the best for everyone. Unknown author.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Harley.
Mr. President, I don't have an announcement. I just want to say to everyone to have a happy and safe Labor Day weekend. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just have 2 announcements. First, I'd like to thank Stubbs Elementary School today, Dr. Williams, for their efforts for the, get back to school items to the children over there. It was a really nice turnout. And I'd like to especially thank Dave Tiberi from Donate Delaware for donating thousands of hand wipes, supplies, school supplies for the teachers. So through the years, through the year, they will be able to use them in their classroom, and if the kids, some of the kids need them, they are going to distribute them to take home. So it wasn't a lot of people just grabbing them today. So I thought that was really nice. I wanted to just thank him and thank Channel 22 for coming out and doing a very good job. And my second announcement would be first annual Saluting Women Veterans, which has really picked up down to the Chase Center September the 9th. Hopefully, council members can show up. It's our first annual. So far, we have 50 veteran women who have signed up, and they really appreciative, stating that normally when you go to events, you always hear about the men veterans, but you don't hear much about the women. So we only have enough of 50, and we're getting a lot more calls, but we're not able to salute everyone. So I just wanted to make that announcement. myself and President Trippy Congos helped me support that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I do apologize, Councilman Johnson. I skipped over you. Councilman Johnson.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Just a brief announcement. Starting on, we have the small business pop-up as this is on 1641 4th Street. It's a collaboration between Cornerstone West and Westside Grows. It's a small business pop-up that we're going to be doing in a lot across from the Tot lot at 4th and DuPont. Thankfully, council passed and permitted the lease to use this space. We're looking forward to it. We have a lot of small business vendors, again, supporting a reimagined 4th Street. So it will be from 11 to 2 p.m. And the other announcement is for folks to get their tickets now. Delaware Opera is hosting a big fundraiser on Saturday, September 17th. It's a stage acting with your local Delaware known people. We have Dr. Tony Allen and his wife are going to be performing, Senator Lockman and her husband. And you're going to be fortunate if you get a ticket, you'll get to see me and my wife actually act Shakespeare. And it's Saturday, September 17th at Delaware Opera. It starts at 5:30 p.m., so please get your tickets now. It's a hot ticket. It's had a 2-year delay because of COVID, so please come out.
I'm definitely buy that ticket. Yeah, it's gonna be a hot ticket.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Darby.
Yes, thank you. I have a few announcements. We had our annual book bag giveaway last weekend. I actually have a few book bags left over, but I am partnering with Hood Millionaires and Teach 21 Enrichment for a book bag giveaway and supplies, and they'll have water ice this Saturday from 11 to 3 on 20th and North Market Street, where that barbershop is. You'll see it. Or you can reach out to the office, to the council office if you need more information on how to get there. But I have plenty of book bags left over to give out for our annual book bag giveaway. Every month I have my 2nd District stakeholder meeting. Please contact me if you're interested in attending. And I recently partnered with Habitat for Humanity to provide 20 people who live in the 2nd District they have a refrigerator program where they'll replace your old refrigerator with a new one. The cost was like $50. So I covered the cost. So if you live in the 2nd District, you feel like you need a new refrigerator, please reach out to the office, or you can reach out to, let me give you my council number, which I don't know by heart. So my council number is 302-530-0046. The last thing that I have is recently partnered with the Wilmington Senior Center to cover membership fees for anyone who wants to join the Wilmington Senior Center, but you have to live in the 2nd District. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, that's my announcements.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Gray.
Yes, I would like to welcome Councilwoman Maria Cabrera to the 1st District. She finally has settled on her house, so congratulations. That's all for this evening.
All right, thank you. I just have a few announcements. Next Saturday, September the 10th, there's a lot going on. There's the Delaware State versus University of Delaware game. That's going to be down at UD. I believe that starts at 6. Also on the 10th, there is the Taste of Africa at Kirkwood Street Park. That is from 12 to 7. And that same evening, the 27th annual Judy Johnson night beginning at 6:30 at Frawley Stadium. Just as a reminder, on September the 22nd, on Thursday, September the 22nd, I'm going to have my first of many open door sessions where the community can just come up to the 9th floor right here in our city county building, and we can just talk about whatever is on your mind and how we can just move our city forward. Again, that's going to be on September the 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. You don't have to sign up. You can just show up, and then we can figure out some solutions for our city. Also, I want to put together a Black Restaurant Week. So if any of my colleagues or if anyone in the community can give us some ideas on how we can make this happen, I want to try to do that before it gets cold. Just call us or call me at down here at 576-2140. Again, it's 576-2140. If anyone from the community or if any of my colleagues have any suggestions how we can put together a Black Restaurants Week here in the city. I know that we have a restaurant week in general, but I just want to focus in on Black restaurants. Just want to wish everyone a happy Labor Day, and I think that is everything. And we do have council members should still have, some council members may have some scholarship money still available. So if you are in a college or university, please call us at 576-2140. Again, that number is 302-576-2140. And with that, I will want to thank everyone for watching this evening. Again, council chambers will be open. Our committee meetings will be open for you to come down and be with us in person. But if not, you can still be able to join us virtually. And with that, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, everyone. Meeting adjourned.